Okay boys, so I decided to take an in-depth look at our second game in the Cash Cup, and there's a very important reason why I chose this gameplay, and I know a lot of you boys are going to relate. And it's because our first game was completely scuffed. Our mindset was shattered. We literally died off spawn before we had weapons, and that can really mess up a team, and that's something I understand. So the second game we played, we decided to land the same drop spot. If it happens again, we'll completely change our whole plan for the tournament. It's very important to stay determined on your drop spot. So then we decided to play a little less aggressive after what just happened, because we need to get some sort of confidence back. We literally just got shattered in our first game. Like, we didn't have weapons, like I said. So this game is trying to just build our confidence back, and that's what the second game is really all about. If you get your first game scuffed, you really need to play a lot better in your second game and just get your mindset back. Once your mindset is with you, you're perfectly chilling. So let's just play this gameplay. We are approaching our first fight now. We got scuffed off spawn. We got good loot, but we just dipped and we didn't take any of the fights there. And we did land a corny complex. And at the end of this video, I will give you a full breakdown on the drop spot. I'll leave a link to the video at the end. But let's just get straight into this. So I end up rotating across here. I already know there's a team over here. I can see them break on the bridge now. I'm not looking at them with my crosshair. And that's one thing I should, is have my crosshair that's right there on screen up at the left. You know, so that way when I do see them and I have clear shots like here, see the way I'm locked onto him, I hit 331s and he's under pressure, and then I throw a Molotov. The reason why I was carrying those Molotovs, or the Firefly jars, was because the previous game when I got scuffed off spawn, I learned something, and that's real important for everybody to do. So I'm going to share what I learned, and that is that this trio was carrying a jerry can and fireflies, and I never understood why in the moment, but afterwards when I looked over the clip of me dying, it was because when they had the jerry can, they threw the jerry can and then threw the fireflies, and the fire spread and actually blew up the jerry can without them having to peek and shoot it, because that's real important. If they peeked and we had snipers, their game could be over. So with the fireflies, it actually just blew up everything and literally killed me, and it was so smart. So I just took a bit of their game and implemented it into mine, and we already knocked one, by the way. You could see in the feed right there, Serana just knocked one. So I'm getting super aggressive. And I'm asking them in the gameplay, which you can hear, did you knock the guy above me? I didn't get a response, so I just kind of pushed to take height anyway. I seen him like literally running because he got beamed by me. Unfortunately, I took 30 damage that was not needed if I just had it built out of my brick. So I guess something to learn there. I lined up some shots, 31, 31, and then a 31 white. I keep beaming. I griefed their whole team. On all three of us, look at our formation right now. Look up in the top right in the map. Look how tight we are playing together, and that's real important that you don't get split. And like, this team isn't good. They're literally in panic mode. But the thing is, if this team turns around and knocks one of us, they get a boost of confidence and an advantage. So it's real important to just keep an eye on how close we're playing. I knocked one with a 46 dink, and the rest of us just go ham. And I'm just top firing this guy, and then Serana gets the kill on that last guy. But we played as a team and we just bullied everybody. Now, like I said, our first game was completely scuffed, so our strategy in this game right here was to play a bit more passive. So what we're going to do right now is, what we're about to do is, up here in the top right, you can see the radar station, and you know there's a pad there. So what our plan is to take the pad and go all the way down to the retail mountain. And there's the old thing from last season, the big primal structure that can sling you into the air using like the zero gravity, and you can pull your chute. That's what we're playing for, is to hit those two and keep rotating down further, because it's real important. Like, even if zone was here, and hopefully you can see my crosshair on your screen right now, it's very vital to box up on that high ground. Not only do you have high ground, which gives you advantages on everybody and a better vision, but you can just rotate off the mountain and hit the pad if you have to leave. And that's really overpowered, is to stay near any mobility you can get. There's a lot of stationary mobility in this game where it's just chilling, you know. That's what the advantage of this season is. You can go anywhere and just take a car. There's always free rotations everywhere, and that's what you need to really look out for. So I'm going to skip a bit forward. Like, you can see us running up here. We loot all this up, get some metal, which is very important that we stacked up on metal. We keep going. There's nobody here, and we kind of see a team here. So I'll explain how we play this. I see a guy down there, I mark him, and I'm telling Serana, because he sniped someone earlier, I'm saying, hey, go for a snipe on him if you can. TRM's building because he's seen people. Now, I wasn't like aware that they seen us. You get me? That's what TRM knew. He knew that they were looking at us. I didn't know that, so I kept running. Serana took a snipe. Now, this is where things can either go wrong or very good. Look how split I am from the rest of the team. I'm just trying to get my firefly jars in there. And I do throw all of them, I believe, which was a big mistake and I shouldn't have. But hopefully actually, yeah, I pick up some here, right? So I'm kind of chilling. I get them all back. Okay, I didn't realize that. That's probably why I threw all of them. But when I get over this mountain, I can see that they're all running in the car. They're just fleeing. And again, we have that tight formation, but I did leave high ground, which was kind of unfortunate for me. But it's real important to scare these. Like, we didn't hit them at all, but they're just playing that play style where they're super scared. And I'm sorry if the gameplay is just jumping a bit in the background, but just scaring people like that. Did we hit any of them? No. Did they do more damage to us? Yes. And yet they ran away. That lets us know that they're not confident in themselves as players, and they don't want to throw their whole tournament on one fight. And they probably have good loot, because I'm taking it that they killed everybody here. That's why they're still in retail. They were fighting the whole game. So we're just farming up a bit more metal off these fences, and our plan is to rotate all the way down and take that mountain right in front of us. And the other team for some reason didn't take that mountain, and this mountain actually ends up doing us very good in the game. So I'm going to skip towards endgame, because it's going to be a very intense endgame. It's very stacked. So I rotate actually over here and take this pad, or this supply drop, and I get the pad. That's real important for later on in the video that I have the pad. I don't take the P90 because I'm stacked on shields, and I want my fireflies to scuff anybody endgame. I should have taken the P90 though. When you look at my AR ammo, I only have 98, which is really not that good unless I get a pick. So I'm kind of struggling, if you get me. Now I'm praying for zone right here. So 7 seconds on zone, 6, 5. We're just really hoping we get zone, because if not, we have to rotate all the way back across that mountain we just came across, which is kind of, you know, sucks for us. So we end up getting zone, and the rotate ended up really being worth it. But there's another team on the mountain that we didn't see, so I spam built just to protect. I'm trying to force them off the mountain, and then there's a team behind us as well, so we're really pinched because the other team behind us have high ground, and clearly that other team down below was ballsy enough to rush up onto high ground even though we were there. So the only way to win this is the fact that TRM rotated around. I don't know if he did this on purpose, but when you look at his positioning right here on the map, see the way he's a bit away from us, and that's where the advantage does come in when you kind of fan out a bit. He's really taking high ground. I don't know if he's subconsciously doing it, but he's on high ground. Look at the way he's running on the map right now. He's so split from us and ends up cranking on them. So that's so overpowered right there. That's literally one of the things that won us this. Well, I don't know if we win this fight. We're about to find out, but I do know we survive a lot longer. But again, we've high ground because TRM made that play of splitting a bit from us. Now I'm just getting beamed. Like, I'm just absorbing shield this whole game. I lost all my wood, and we just get chopped down, which kind of sucked. But I'm just trying to get the big pot off. That's all I wanted to do this, I remember. But I see TRM knocked one with a gas can. So I threw my fireflies in, trying to do a bit more damage. I tell him to build our brick after he starts cranking up. I say build our brick, and then he swaps to brick. And so does Serana. And I see that TRM's going into this kid's box. So I hop in, I follow him. 92 body, because he called that he was low. Communication coming in like key. This guy almost scuffed me because he was blocking the doorway. And it was actually kind of bad. Like, if that player in there had been a bit better, I would have died, because that was all his piece control. None of that was mine. I'm trying to stay close to the boys again. Keeping that tight formation is very important in trios, because if one guy feels like he can hop in your box and there's only one of you, you're really done for. Now we play a rotate all the way across zone. I was being an IGL. Like, you'll see the timing of this. Watch me play back a bit, okay? Look when zone closes. It's got 8 seconds. Wait, that's not the right timing. I'm just waiting for the flip so you can see how fast I was to react, okay? Literally 0-0. Zone just pulled, okay? Literally the second. So then I was like, okay, boys, we need to rotate. And that is what you call an early rotate, like a super early rotate. And not only did it benefit us because that other team was behind us, so we were getting away from them. Before they padded, like, they weren't going to just follow us across zone, especially when there's 29 people left in third zone. And it's basically like a mild scrim lobby at this stage. It's not as laggy, but if we take this mountain, we're dead center zone, which increases our chances of getting half and half, and as it goes on. Like, I always say that, but this is living proof of playing center in these zones really come in the clutch, especially around this zone. In third zone, when you play center, you'll see the benefits of it in this game. And you can say it's just luck, but I would say playing for, you know, half and half and chilling in a corner instead of dead center is probably the worst thing you can do. And that's being dead serious. Like, if you can't move, you can't physically move, take it, bro. It's better surviving another 2 minutes than dying trying to rotate. But with our rotate that we just pulled off, it really comes in clutch. We're scuffed on mats though. That's the only thing. That's why high ground here is really good for us, Because if we're scuffed on mats, we have high ground though. You get me? No one's going to try and take this because we're fully fortified out metal and we're really just vibing. And you'll see the way we play. I'm going to keep skipping through it though, instead of you just watching us chill out in this box. You'll see how we play. So I can see behind us that they are actually on true high ground. But the way they're over there, literally just out of the picture. You get me? They're not really doing much to the rest of the lobby. They're fighting their own fight and they're staying away from everyone. But where we're looking right now, that's where we need to get our kills from. And same with over on the other mountain. You get me? Everyone's fighting. We can just do damage. That's all we need to do, bro. It's just simple damage. Now, watch what happens when the zone closes. Look at the way I adjust our playstyle. Now, this is important for if you're an IGL, is to just be aware of this. See the way if I freeze up because I flick around so hard. See the way all the way over here on the right side of the map is in zone? That means they're going to be chilling. They're just going to sit in their boxes. But on the other hand, anyone over this side of the map that's in the open is going to have to rotate back across. And where do they have to chill? They literally have to chill right beside us. That's their only option, is to chill right beside us or below us. And if they're good players, they know better than to chill below us, because if we've got anything, we can just spray down and it's an awkward fight for them. So I instantly make the call to go over to this window. We fortify up because of snipers, and we just hold. We just chill here and we look for as many dinks. Now see, it looks pretty still at the moment because nobody wants to rotate. And the worst thing to do in their situation is rotate late, because that's how you get focused. That's how you get held. So the best thing for them to do is rotate as soon as possible, like literally as soon as possible. Instead, they're healing up. And I'm looking around as well, because still over in this general direction is a bit of a threat. Because they're probably not going to get next zone. Now remember, we played center last zone. Now look where we're playing right now. We're on the edge. But this is where I like to come in and explain things. We could take dead center in this valley. Okay, now that's what I always advise, is take dead center in this valley. Okay, but we're also on high ground and we're also scuffed mats. So like I said, play dead center if you can, but why would you want to give up high ground to play dead center? Because dead center really isn't that far away from us. I know it looks like it's across the map, but realistically, that's the edge of the mountain. So who's going to be shooting up at us on the mountain when they're down here in this valley, especially with these boys over here being scuffed? And you could say we're tunnel visioning, but this is a whole different thing. When you're scuffed, you need to try and hold people, and then you're actually going to have to rotate late if you don't get zone. And then you're going to be the person that you just beamed, if that makes sense. So what we're doing to the other players over on the right side a minute ago, where we're trying to hold them, that's what's going to happen to you if you rotate late. And I'm fully understanding of this, but when I look at my map count, I can't make that next rotate anyway, so I need something. That's the whole play that I decided to make for us right here. It's just something, bro. Even just a knock to get me up a bit more HP, or to get TRM up a bit more HP. And then I realize I have big shields and shit like that, but look, it is what it is. This guy's starting to make a move. He just killed someone. His fight is over. I'm telling the boys, look, he's going to make a move in a minute. We need to, like, hold him. So, watch what happens when I skip a bit. I block behind me so I can't get sniped, which is 10,000 IQ. Now, so we've got 1 minute on zone. That guy actually tried to reboot, and he successfully pulled it off for us. Like, he's a psychopath. I don't know why he would do that. Just literally is asking people to target him, especially rotating in late. Again, that ramp clutch for the team behind us. That's why I put that there. But I don't know why, like, he rezzed, because the guy's on 0 height. Like, literally, he's white. Like, I just needed to hit a few more shots. Watch, 31 white. Like, bro, I just couldn't do it. You get me? But again, the 3 of them boys down there, they end up scuffing us a lot. I don't know how they have so much mats, and that guy that just got rezzed, I don't know how he ends up doing way better off. So let me just skip further on in the video. You can see that we actually do get the zone to pull to us. And this is the zone where if we played center right here, it still would have been chill. Okay, there's nothing wrong. That's why I always encourage to play center. If we play center there, okay, it's better, because if this zone pulls up in this corner, it's way easier to rotate up. And if it pulls in this, like where we are right now, if we didn't play center here and zone pulls up here, there's no way we're making the rotate from this mountain all the way up to that corner with the mats we have, and just without a pad, it's not going to happen. That's why I encourage you to play center. Fortunately, we didn't, because of the situation with the mats, and we're trying so hard for a pick. That's why sometimes you have to give up high ground to take a shitty position. But if you have no option, you have to take the next best thing to being dead center, which is high ground, because it's a power position. You can rotate late and drop and take everybody else's tarps, which is something we end up doing in this game. So we can see that they're cranking for height. I actually caught the bullet. I tried to catch the bullet, but TRM got hit, unfortunately. And we know, look at the way we're focused. They're trying to take height, so that's a big threat to us. And on top of that, I'm trying to explain that not to focus them. They're going to take height regardless, but it's just the way they're playing. It's so enticing that I don't know like what way, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they're just cranking, bro. It's just something that you should be focusing on, but we shouldn't be, okay? We shouldn't be. We can't do anything to stop them taking height, but what we should be doing is focusing this open area over here. See the way that's all open? There's still teams around here on this other mountain where the supply drop is. We should be focusing them because they have to make a longer rotate. Do we focus them or focus the next high ground? Also, pay attention to the peak I just pulled off right here with this edit. Just stops people from sniping me and completely griefing me. Again, another team is now contesting high ground. So there's not, like I said, there's not much we can do to stop that. We just go for a few more things. We're just trying to grief as many people as we can, you know. That's the whole point when you're scuffed like this, is try and scuff everybody else in the lobby. Now, I've so many edits open right now, I have a feeling someone's going to get sniped. Yeah, someone tried to snipe me. There was a guy that landed above us, by the way. That's why we're doing all this. And we're trying to just drop him down and get the kill. And he does fall down, and he slightly gets away with the pad. And I say build around the pad, but they broke it. So the other team is pretty good, and they're up on super height right now. So when I mean now, there's really nothing we can do. There's like nothing we can do. Again, zone's about to close, and you're gonna see which way it pulls. We're on dead side, by the way. Just pointing that out. We're on the dead side. That whole side over there is contested. That whole like mountain. We're just trying to pull it down, you know, just do a bit more damage. Again, we pulled them all down. TRM picks up 2 or 3 kills, I'm pretty sure, from it. We'll check the feed now. Yeah, knocked out with a great fall. And this is why, again, we stayed on the mountain. Now, this is all luck based, but we stayed on this mountain rather than, like, you know, the way we could have played center down there. When you're scuffed, it is definitely better to play center down there, because if it pulls down, it's an easier rotate for you. But keeping high ground when you're scuffed with mats, first of all, you don't have to build a second base. Second of all, you have second height. Now we have real height because we chopped that down. And we have 200 AR bullets left, and zone pulls our way. So all of these people have to rotate towards us, which means now we can rotate late. Let them build their tunnels across the whole zone and just follow their tarps. So we're just going to spray and grief for the next like few minutes. So I'm going to skip ahead again. And you can see right here, okay, when they start padding, like the whole lobby pads at once. Like, I'm not messing. Watch. 1, we cracked. 2, 3, 4. Everyone knows the pad. It's a really high skill lobby that we're in right now, because once they hear the one pad go, basically whoever takes that first pad is going to get scuffed, and the rest of them get away free because you're going to be focused on the first guy. And we just have high ground. See what I mean of like taking their tarps, just letting them tarp below us, and we're just above them chilling. Now that's what's real overpowered about this. And we just, I see this like great view here. Like, I'm scuffed for mats. Like, literally I've got 0 now, but I connected us to something else, and we still have high ground. Unfortunately, a team does, I think, pad all the way over onto us. Yep. And I just hit him 27 with a green pump. I was a kind of shit shot, but should do more than 27 damage, man. I blocked that off. Here I'm saying we need to pick. We need to go for it. I try and help, and I was like, look, just leave it. He's coming up on the right. I hit him again, 62 crack. We needed the kill, but we're getting beamed from above, and I have 0 mats. So my next bet is to just look down and just scuff as many people as I can, because it pulls back again. So we have all tarps that way, the way it's pulling, and these are all stuck on ultimate low. They're built now with a lot of mats. Like, if they have a metal, they can clearly afford it, but we just don't seem to get any of the kills. Like, it was just the kills weren't happening for us. We got 1 pick, we were chilling. That's all we needed, was 1 pick, and we split it between us. That guy lands on my layer. I hit him, I think, don't know, 94 or 34. I get the finish just so we have guaranteed points. I see the bandage bazooka drop, and this is just on me. Like, I didn't see him above us. I didn't know he was up there. I thought it was just a guy that landed on us, and that's how we end up dying. But the real reason we died was because of lack of mats. If we had mats, we wouldn't be on such a high up layer. We would have dropped down by now, because it's very bad to be on such a high ground layer when it starts pulling back and you don't have mats to crank up to height. You got to drop and take a mid layer. That way the guys above you were, like, for example, we were the guys above in that situation. We were second height. And because we, like, were on second height, when height looks down, that's the first thing they see is us. So if we were below and left the team that actually killed us, the guy that was down that I finished, if we had left him on that layer by himself and went below him, the same thing would happen to him. He would have got beamed from that guy above while we were chilling below. So it's just kind of unfortunate that it happened like that. We just died, unfortunately. But TRM, I think, does go on for another minute here. If I skip to him, he does kind of try and like clutch up. He's on this mountain and he's just doing damage. You get me? There's not much you can do with one wood. But he almost had it, bro. If he had a bit more mats, he would have been chilling. You get me? So just down to getting a pick, boys. If this helped you out any way, shape, or form, make sure you share it, like it, subscribe if you're new. With that said, I'm going to leave another video right below my face cam right now that you can go and watch, and it will help you out insanely, probably more so than this, because I'm just a bit rusty getting back into these VOD review style things. With that said, I'm gone.